Hey guys, CoinFlipSci here, doing a short video on optimal fold to 3-bet and 4-bet numbers. This is something I believe you should be checking up on yourself every few weeks to ensure you are broadly staying close to the right numbers. So first you need to get your position reports page open and add the fold to 3-bet in position, fold to 3-bet out position, 4-bet and 4-bet range, and also fold to 5-bet as well. So today I'm going to be analysing El Rosmiro's database to see where he can be making some improvements. As with all these suggestions, a few percentage either side isn't going to make much difference, but the better players tend to sit close to these numbers. So firstly, fold to 3-bet. Years ago when I started grinding cash games, people tended to have way too high fold to 3-bet. It's certainly an area people have improved. I would say you really don't want your fold to 3-bet to be higher than 60% in any position, as you'll be an open target for anyone who likes to print money. It's not an exact science, but ideally you want your fold to 3-bet to be around 50% mark. That way people aren't going to pound you with 3-bets, but they're also not going to shy away from 3-betting the weakest parts of their 3-bet range, which is what we want really. In general, it's okay to have a slightly higher fold to 3-bet in EP and MP, as 3-bet ranges are much stronger. Again, just really important we don't go up higher than 60%, and ideally no higher than 55%. As you can see, our hero is folding way too much to 3-bets pretty much everywhere, especially in position. However, he is playing up to 5 now, so we're having such a high fold to 3-bet is probably more conducive to the games. People are 3-betting way tighter, and the pools are so big that people don't have a big enough sample to noticing how much we're folding and to adjust their 3-bet range. However, you know, if Hero wants to move up to say 25 now, this is going to need a lot of attention, no doubt. So on to 4-bet. For those of you who don't know, 4-bet range is simply the 4-bet percentage with your opening range factored in. So, in my opinion, it's the most useful one to use. Like in game, I'm going to be looking at 4-bet range as opposed to the 4-bet percentage. Good players can vary quite widely in their 4-betting frequencies, as some like to flat bigger hands pre, and others will always 4-bet them. So it's not like a particular number is optimal, but I think what is really important is that we understand what the numbers mean and that we have a good balance of value and bluffs. So a lot of people will have an overall 4-bet percentage of around 3%, which is basically jacks plus. If your fold to 5-bet is higher than 40%, you are 4-bet bluffing too much, and if it is below 20%, then you might want to be you're bluffing probably too little. Bear in mind, you need big sample sizes for this stat to be significant. Your 4-bet range will obviously vary depending on your position. In EP and MP, we can expect around 2% or less in EP. In EP, we are on the whole 4-betting some bluffs, aces, kings, and not all combos of ace, king, and queens. We're going to be doing quite a bit of flattening with those hands. The same applies for MP, but I think now I'm going to be 4-betting more combos of ace, king, and queens. And in the cutoff, 4-bet range tends to be around 3%. And on the button and the small blind range of around 5 to 6% is pretty normal. So as you can see from Hero's numbers, he is quite far off the mark in all positions. He's averaging at a range of around 1% or just below, which is basically a range of aces, kings, and not a lot else, which is a big leak in my opinion. His fold to 5-bet is 0 in all positions bar the cutoff, which illustrates my point that his 4-bet range is almost entirely value. The small blind is a leak in particular, as it should in fact be where he's 4-betting the most, whereas in his sample here, he's 4-betting the least here. So, however, as I mentioned before, Hero is playing super micros where the games play a lot different, and 4-bet bluffing isn't necessarily that plus EV versus population. However, if he wants to move up, it is crucial that these numbers are in checks. Good players will see numbers like this and adjust accordingly. So we really ideally want to have an image where we're able to get in our queens, ace, king, and sometimes jack, and not always be dominated. And that's all we've got time for today, guys. Thanks for watching.